All right, welcome back. WDRB Media, the voice of the community. You're listening to Lab Certified with your host, Andre Speech. For segment 3, I got Kevin Crockett, one of the fathers of one of my players that we brought up here to New Jersey, St. Elizabeth University. So Kev, let's jump right into it. What'd you think about St. Elizabeth? What'd you think about the visit? You know, let the audience know what the Northeast is like.
Absolutely. Well, I'm from Newark, New Jersey, so it was a pleasure to come home. So it was a good vibe. I was very surprised. The school showed extremely well. I thought the coaches did a good job in showing our boys a good time, right?
Totally.
Really laying it out for them. So
Yep.
It was really a good look.
I just had the coach in on segment 2, and one of the things he said is our guys they seemed like they were really prepared. They asked some good questions. They on the film that they've watched of our guys, they said they really look prepared. They think they could come in and contribute as freshmen. What was your thoughts on how our guys looked just on the visit and what you saw from them?
What I loved was when we got to the point where we saw their roster, they really needed our guys, right? They needed taller, bigger, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And in some of those conversations, they were just talking about how they needed somebody to come in and contribute right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of their concerns, which was funny because there are no concerns because our boys are prepared.
Correct. We do a lot of work in the weight room, in the field, on the court with our skills. You know, I kind of talked to them a lot about playing the right way. What you think about the campus itself? You know, usually, you know, we look at D1s, D2s, D3s, you know, differently. How did you feel about the campus?
Again, I was very surprised. As a Division III school, it showed extremely big.
Mm-hmm.
It showed as a really big school. Well, let me not say really big. It showed bigger than what I was expecting.
Correct.
We did a lot of walking. I looked at my steps this morning. I got 7.5 miles of walking yesterday.
Okay.
Right. So it showed bigger than I expected.
Yes, sir. Because we've definitely been to smaller schools where it's a building or two and the gym. You know, where you can get to everything. You know, in 2-3 minutes.
Absolutely.
You know, being that you're a New Jersey guy, what's your thoughts on the possibility of Kev getting away from school, getting away from home in Charlotte? Are you open to that? You know, what's your thoughts?
We're open to all things.
Mm-hmm.
What makes Jersey special is I'm from here. So Kev would have a support system. My mother is here. My oldest daughter is here. So he would have a support system.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It was pretty cool to see St. Elizabeth and the staff really you know pull out all the stops on the visit. They took us to eat. You know, they did the whole thing where the players got to put the uniforms on. I thought that was pretty sweet to see our guys in the college uniforms. How'd you feel about the overall visit and the feel?
Again, the overall visit was great. They showed extremely well. I was really happy on how prepared they were to show our guys.
Yeah.
And they really let them know that they were really interested in them. Again, to your point, putting the jersey on, paying attention to all details, having some of their pictures up on their slides, and they were prepared, man, and they did a really good job.
Yep. Shout out to Coach Adams and the staff over there at St. Elizabeth. So when we wrapped up at St. Elizabeth, we took a quick trip over to Rutgers University, and you know, now going from St. Elizabeth, smaller D3 school, and then going over to Rutgers, it was some considerable differences in between you know a D3
Mm-hmm.
and then a high major D1. Kind of talk about you know what you saw. Let's not discredit St. Elizabeth at anything. Let's just strictly focus on Rutgers and what they brought to the table as we got to check it out over there.
Two different worlds.
Completely.
Night and day. And again, no knock or shade on St. Elizabeth. Again, they showed extremely well. When you go to a major D1, it just looks different. The campus looks like it is a city in its own.
Correct.
Right? It's just different.
We while we were pulling into campus, we saw a big building that was open while we were waiting for the staff to come and show us around a little bit, we kind of just were being nosy. And I walked into a building that I thought it said baseball and softball coaches in the parking spot. So I parked there and kind of walked up to the building, and it was probably the most amazing indoor baseball facility that I had ever seen. And it was so unexpected because from the outside, it just looked like a big shell. I was like, oh, it's gonna be some batting cages and some pitching mounds in there. And kind of talk about just the facilities in general at Rutgers.
Again, the building it showed big from the outside. You're like, it can't be that big. To your point, batting cages, pitching mounds. I mean, you're talking about an official baseball field indoors.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no excuses about it's raining, it's snowing. Oh no, we're practicing.
Yeah,
We're
practicing.
indoors. We have a full indoor field.
Yes.
I've never seen that before.
That was very cool. And then after that, when the coaches got there to kind of show us around, they took us over to where the men's and women's basketball team plays. I think it was called the Jersey Mike's Arena.
Yes.
You know, when we got in there, from the outside, once again, it didn't look crazy. It didn't look, but once we got in, it looked every bit of what I expect a high level D1,
Sure.
Basketball gym to look like. The banners hanging, the court looked like it gets mopped and swept every 5 minutes. Everything was crispy and clean. It's just some noticeable differences in just the economic structure of a high level D1 and other schools. You can tell no expenses are spared on anything.
That's right. It was amazing to go in there. You feel different. I felt like, man, we have age.
Yeah.
I felt like I had some eligibility.
Yeah.
I just want to step on the floor. I want to get some shots up.
Yes, sir.
So, when they put the money into it, when you walk into the building, obviously there's a sense of pride.
Correct.
Right, on every level. From
On
the
every
janitor to the player, to the coaches, to the any and all staff. It just shows. It absolutely shows.
Yeah. It was very cool. I've been to a lot of universities around the country, and Rutgers is right there with them. It was what I expected, and everything was high level, and I see why they're one of the top programs in multiple sports around the country. Kev, I'm excited to have you in the studio to talk. I'm glad you came in and we could talk about everything we saw this weekend. I thought it was a great trip. I'm looking forward to getting our guys back to the gym. Let's get back in the studio again and kind of as we get into the season and talk a little bit more. What you got anything else to say before we get out of here?
No, thank you for having me, man. It's been a great experience. When I look at our boys, and I mean our boys, I'm very proud of them. The work is showing. The people are taking notice, and this is just the beginning. We have another full year coming up this last year for these boys, and I think it's going to be amazing. And I think these college coaches and schools are going to be on notice that, hey, you got something good down the lab.
100%. Well, that's a wrap for today's show. I appreciate everybody tuning in to Lab Certified. Check us out every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Until next week, we out.
You make this shit so easy, man. You're natural.
Yeah, man. It's not my thing, but I like doing it.
Yeah.
And I majored in communications in college, and I always said I wanted to work for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like my own little version of ESPN. I get to do what I wanted to dream of doing, but I still get to do my normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a little sample of what it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing Coach said. Oh yeah, you could hit stop on that.